So I found this absolutely stunning street art, this nice European style mural behind us, and I thought it'd be great to use aperture to show how it can be done to get the tree and the background both together, or to focus on one of them and get it to stand out a bit more. So basically what aperture is, it's how wide or how narrow the shutter is. So if you have got a narrow aperture, then your shutter, it's going to open and close quite narrowly. What that means is that not much light is going to be coming into the image, but by having it narrow, it means that the things in the background and the foreground are both on the same focal length. The both depth of field is going to be the same. If I have a wide aperture, more light is going to come into it, and you can use that with your shutter speed to balance it out and get it right. Having the wide aperture, it's going to make it so that one part of the depth of field is going to really pop and stand out, and the other bit isn't, which can be very, very artistic, but it depends on what you're photographing. Let me show you. Have a look at this mural. I'm going to take one picture with a wide aperture and one with a narrow aperture. When I do the narrow one, I'll be using a slower shutter speed to counteract the fact that less light is coming in, which does affect the sharpness of the image. You've got to think about the balancing act and decide for yourself what's best on that. So let me get you a couple of pictures. Alright, so if you have a look at picture number 1, for example, you can see here what I've got. The mural and the tree are both completely in focus, as much as they are each other. So if you're taking a photo of a building, you want it all to be in the same focus, right? But it's just a 2D thing if you're taking a front picture, so the aperture wouldn't matter so much. You can use that to your advantage by having a nice wide aperture, bringing lots of light in, so that you can have a faster shutter speed, which is going to really increase your sharpness. Your phone camera, your digital camera, isn't going to know to do that because it's not going to know you're standing in front of a 2D object. If you're taking a photo of a living room, and you can imagine if you took a photo of someone's living room and you had a wide aperture, you're going to get a really, really in-focus tree and the background is going to be blurred. It can look very artistic doing that. It can look awesome. If I do the opposite of that and I get the very, very sharp mural and the blurry tree, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second, it can be very artistic. It can be awesome. But if you try doing that to someone's front room, you're going to get a blurry table behind a focused sofa. So basically what a photographer does is uses the aperture and the shutter speed together in tangent, does the trade-off, decides what's more important, depth of field, lighting, shadowing, anything like that, and then basically balances it and uses their artistic vision to create the best image. Your camera can't do that. Your camera doesn't have an artistic mind. Your camera is just going to say, let me get the sharpest image. It's good to get a sharp image, of course, but you're losing out on the natural lighting. You're losing out on the artistic vision, and your camera doesn't know a 2D object doesn't need to have a narrow depth of field. Let me show you what I'm on about. I'm going to get a nice wide aperture. I'm going to have a nice sharp shutter speed, which is going to make a nice sharp image, and I'm going to get this smashing mural. What I've got now is this mural perfectly in focus and the tree is a little bit blurry. It puts more focus on the mural. Now, this is the artistic vision you can get by playing around with your depth of field.